Okay, I can't bash stupid day anymore, okay? I just started recording, so I had to get all that out of my system. All right, so that's the second stretching springs question. The third one that was sent to me was the following. I'm just going to type it because I can't type with the flip. £9 of force. 9 pounds compresses a 15-inch spring to 5 inches. Period. Something like that. Whatever. Don't start confusing me, okay? 9 pounds compresses a 15-inch spring to 5 inches, to a total of 5 inches or whatever. How much work to compress 7 inches? So you're not compressing as much. I guess spring you're compressing down to 5 inches. They want to know how much work to compress to 7 inches. So it should be less than 9, should it not? Right? If it takes 9 pounds to get a 15-inch spring down to 5 inches, then it's going to take less work to get it to 7 inches, right? I would think so. Yes, Hubert. Thank you, class. So what is K? Well, 9 is equal to K times 5. So what's K? Nine-fifths. What? Let me know what you said all over there. Yeah, everything's in inches. You don't need to change everything into feet of everything. I mean, remember I said 1 unit. Everything's in inches. I mean, you can change everything into feet. Yeah, if everything's in inches, you don't have to change anything. Well, you could change it because of that, but you could change it when you get the answer. I didn't write down the answer on this one, so I don't know if you get this one or not. We just have to do it. So since everything is in inches, you can do it in inches and change it at the end, or you can change everything to foot, pounds, or feet, and change it, and not have to change that thing. Pay me now or pay me what? Later. It doesn't matter. So, yesterday during my wasted day, my brother that was a drug dealer was your English teacher. Who's your English teacher?
The one from last semester is Mr.
No.
It's my English teacher now is Miss.
That's who it was. Miss who?
Miss Blank, Mrs. Blank.
Yeah, she was light skinned.
Yeah.
Dark skin, light skin. Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
She was fine. She was fun.
She said she told me she hates teaching that class. Art.
Teaching art. Why?
She doesn't like English too.
Well, I understand that because I don't like teaching some classes, but I teach what I'm told to teach. So, 9 pounds is equal to K times 5 inches. So K is equal to what? 9/5. So F of X, or work, is equal to the antiderivative from 0 to 7 of 5x dx. I'm sorry, 9/5. I just pulled 5 out of my head. 9/5 x dx. So that's going to be W is equal to 9/5 x squared over 2, evaluated at 0 and 7, which is going to be, nothing cancels, so it's going to be 9x squared over 10, evaluated at 0 and 7, which is equal to 9 times 49 over 10. I'm trying to think of a way this would be easy. I think make that 4.9 or 49 and 4.9. That'd be 9 times 4.9. Oops. Which 4.9 is 5, so 9 times 5 is what? 45. Right? So it'd be like 44 something. 44. 8 plus 36 is 44.1. Somebody check my math. What'd you say? 44.1. So that's equal to 44.1 what? Inches per what? Inches, let's see, foot pounds would be inches per pound. And then when you do the math, you're going to divide by 12. What do you get? Divide 44.1 by 12. 3.675 or 3.67 foot pounds. So 4 foot pounds. And if you did it at the beginning and changed 15 into 15 over what? 12 and change 5 and 5 over 12 and 7 and 7 over 12 and plug everything in, you get the same thing. Comprende? Are we feeling better about springs now? No comment? Nobody wants to say anything. I know why. That's okay. You don't want to give yourself away. Hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better. All right. I hope I copied this tank down right. Yep. Got a tank with a radius of 9 and a little spout at 3 foot. No, 9. Is it meters? I believe it's meters. Yes, meters. So that means you got to add 9.8. So 9.8 is you got to add that in, and then H2O is equal to 1,000. And they want to know it's full. They want to know how much you work to get it out of there, to get the water out of the tank. And when you're talking about these tanks, most of the time you're putting and I'm just telling you what they do. They're putting the cross right there. So this point is at -9, and this point is at what? 9. Most of the time, they're going to be doing it this way. What is the volume? Pi r squared H. Right? Volume equals pi r squared H. So which one is the one that the volume of the slice, which one you going to have to worry about? The R. You got to change R into H. Or Y, H, whatever you want to call it. You're doing the volume of the slice. The slice looks like this. So remember, everything in work is based on what? Based on the slice. Remember you push up? Remember me telling you that everything is pretty much, think of the push up. Orange sherbet push up. You got a stick, and that stick is attached to a what? A plunger. Now, if you really want to get disgusting, you can think of your deodorant. Works the same way. Got your little dial down here that works another machine that's called a lever. But I'm not going to talk about that. That's physics. Same concept. So this guy, you got a radius of 9, based on a radius of 9. So you got this height right here, and then you got the triangle, which basically comes out, and I told you it would be the same each time. R is equal to the square root. What's 9 squared? 81 minus 8 squared. Remember me telling you that whenever you're dealing with a sphere or half of the sphere, that the the Pythagorean theorem was going to play out, and I told you that most of the time it was going to fall in that type of formula. Remember? I told you to highlight it. Of course, you know, y'all don't do that, and y'all don't refer back to your notes, so I don't know why I'm even telling y'all that. All right, plug and chug. Now you got to get your height, which is going to be 12 plus h. Or h plus 12. Doesn't really matter because addition is commutative. The height for your integration. So, integral, you got to put all this stuff in. 9.8 times 1,000 times pi times r squared. What is r squared? If you take 80, the square root of 81 minus h squared, and you square it, what do you get? 81 minus h squared. And then you got the height, which the height is going to be 8x plus 12 or 12 plus h, whichever. Doesn't matter. And then dh is the height of the plunger. Now that should be what your setup looks like. And it's going to be from -9 to 9. Now I have no earthly idea. Well, I do have an idea what the answer is. So go ahead and see if you can work it out. And yes, you would use your calculator here. You're not Rain Man. So work it out. And Miss Sheik, I remember when we went over this problem like this, or one like it, you asked if you could do 2 times 0 to 9, and you can. Because it's what? What is the trick there? That this side is what? Symmetrical to this side. We'll let y'all work it and see what y'all get. Have y'all signed up for your pre-registration? You've got 2 answers. One is, yes, I have signed up, or no, I'm going to put it off some more. So which one is it? Huh? No, I didn't say that one part. You got to say the whole thing. No, I'm going to put it off until later. Go ahead and say it. Okay, anybody else? When is the first day of registration? March 10th. So wait till March the 9th. Nobody will be in the office. And then you can fuss about your advisor being slack. Right? Because he or she is slack if they don't wait for you. Just blame it on the Russians. 9.8 times 1,000 times pi, -9. Now you can do 2, 0 to pi, or 0 to 9. You can do that way. Now let's highlight this too, because I'm gonna get an email saying, where'd 2 come from? Well, I just said about a minute ago to Ms. Sheep that if it is symmetrical, which it is because it's a circle, then you can do 0 to 9 and multiply it by 2. That's the second time I said it. All right, so that takes care of all of that. So we're left with this. What are we going to have to do there? Multiply them out using what? FOIL? And let's see, 2 times pi is 6,000, or 2 that'd be 6.28, 6.28 times 1,000, 6.28, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The 62,800 multiplied by 9.8, which is 10, so multiply by 10, that should be around 6280. Y'all check me and make sure my math is right, or close. Multiplied from 0 to 9 of 81 times 12 plus 81h minus 12h squared minus h to the third dh. $62.80. Somebody check me. Is it close? Two times pi times 9.8 times 1,000. $61,000?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I must have done something wrong. Okay, what was it? Oh, I didn't have, I should have had another 0. Yeah. I should have had another 0. My bad. All right, so 81 times 10 is 810. 810 plus 162. 810 plus 162 is 972. What's the 81 times 12?
972.
Plus 81h minus 12h squared minus h cubed dh. And there's your setup. Oh, I already took the, okay, yeah, that's the setup. We'll take that to the next page, or I'll make it smaller. Make sure I didn't make an error. I don't have a calculator up here. Doesn't make a difference. I did 12.8 mainly because of the grid that they set up with the -9 to 9. You can use h plus 12 or you can use 12 plus h. If you're doing a scenario from 0 to 9, then you would have to do 12 minus h. It all depends on how you set it up. Like if you were doing like the bottom of a tank. Now, most of the cylindrical tanks are going to be set up like this. Remember when I told you when you ever do a cylindrical tank, this is going to be R? Well, most of the time when you do a cylindrical tank like this, or a spherical, They're gonna have it set up on a grid system, so that's gonna be 12 plus H or H plus 12. Versus if this was a conical tank, and this would be 0, this would be 9, then it would be 12 minus H or 9 minus H or whatever the case may be. It's just how they set it up. And you'll learn that with time. The only way you'll learn that is with time. Okay, what am I doing? Group, thank you. And bring this down. Okay, do the tedious math. Use your calculator. So that's going to be 61,000. I'm going to say 62,000. That's too much thinking. 62,000 from 0 to 9. We're going to have to go 972 x plus 81 h squared over 2 minus 12h to the third over 3 minus h to the fourth over 4, evaluated at 0 and 9. Of course, 0 will give you 0, so that's a good thing. 62,000 times 972 times 9 plus 81 times 81 over 2 minus 12. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 is 7. I don't know what it is. What is it? What's 9 to the third power? 729, thank you. 3. And what's 9 to the fourth power? I'm sorry, what?
65, 69.
Now, somebody do all that math. Then give me a nice round number, multiply it by 62,000. Somebody okay, 62,000? Yes, I'm an engineer. I can always round up. So what about 62,000 times all this? What does it come out to be? It's going to be joules. Where's my calculator drill team in high school, you know? Well, they got rusty. That's a good thing. Skype people, y'all can bring some input in here too. Y'all get your calculators out. Did it take that long to calculate? All right, well, the answer is going to be around 115 million. No, I don't have it because it's multiplied by pi. It looks like, well, I don't know what pi is going to do to 114 million. Has anybody got it yet? I'm sorry, what? Times pi would be over 300 million. I'm reading it right.
Multiply by pi again?
No, I'm saying the 114 that I got is multiplied by pi on here. Yeah, we already calculated it. You got to take 62,000 and multiply by all of that. What do you get? It's going to be a VA number, okay? I'm getting tired of waiting on y'all. Huh? You got 114? Okay. Well, the answer is correct because Miss Sheet said that she's got 114 times pi. So that's good. It comes out in joules because you're dealing with meters and yeah, that'd be about right. So all I said is 3 times 114, whatever that comes out to be. So what'd you come out with?
163 million.
That's good. 463, above 463 million?
Yes.
464 million. Okay, let's add our little, y'all know what that means, right? That means we did some estimating, we did some rounding up. That's not exact. Okay? Go ahead and give us the exact answer so everybody can hear it. Speak up so the Skype can pick you up.
463,279,000.
There it was. Okay? 463 million and some change. That's a lot of work. Okay, we good? Everybody feel a little bit better now? Tank problem a little bit better? Okay. Now let's go back to integration. Now I got to start this today because we got to get started on unit 3, whatever unit we're on. I don't care what unit we're on, but we got to get started on it. All right. dvx, I had this thing written up, of u times v. Now this is the derivative. What did we do to get the derivative of 2 terms? Yeah, let's count 1. What do you do? First times the derivative of what? The second plus the second times the derivative of what? The first. And what's that called? It's called the product rule. So if I want to solve for uv, I take the derivative, the antiderivative of this, and that goes away, but then I get the antiderivative of uv plus the antiderivative of vu. And that dx goes out there too. I'm sure I'm following this right. Yeah. Dang, I messed up. I don't know which one's U and which one's V. Oh well. So I wrote it wrong. All right, UV is minus VU is equal to the antiderivative of U V prime. dx. And UV minus VU is equal to antiderivative of U dV. So the antiderivative, and that's over here. So the antiderivative of U dV is equal to ultraviolet minus voodoo. So that means that now you have the quote product rule for integrating, because you don't have the product rule for integrating. You got 2 terms. You don't know how to take them. Right now, you think you know all this calculus. You really, as far as integration, don't know squat. All you know about integrating is that you can take x squared and put x squared be x to the third over 3. But what if I give you x squared times y squared? Or x squared times something else? X squared times e to the x. You'd sit there and go, duh, because you don't have a product rule. Right now, the only rule that you know about integration is the power rule. So now we're moving on to the product rule. And this is your product rule for integration. Now don't go into any calculus class, especially if you're not in my class, and call this the product rule for integration, because some calculus teachers will have a what? Connections, yeah. So don't do that. They'll go into cardiac infarction or something. They have no girlfriend or boyfriend. All right? And they don't have a life. So, this is basically your product rule for integration. If you're given two terms and you're multiplying, then you have to find u, you have to find du, you have to find v, and you have to find dv. And you have to plug it into that. And if you don't know what this is called a derivation. Should I show it to you? No, not really, because all it does is do what? What does it do? It confuses you. Most teachers, this is your product rule of derivation. Back in Calc 1, you learned that. That was about the second or third thing that you learned after I taught you the derivative. And we're using that, and we're solving it for this, for UV. We're solving it for that right there. And that's it. And that's a V. All right, so it's easier just to show you with examples, as is a lot of calculus too. So let's do the absolute value. Now the first thing you're going to do is pick out what you think is the hardest thing to take the derivative or antiderivative of, and you're going to focus on that. E to the x, you always focus on e to the x, because it looks what? It looks complicated, but it's not. So whenever you're talking about e to the x, or whenever you're talking about substitution or integration by parts, you want to focus on the e to the x, and you're going to make that pretty much your hardest thing. So you can make it either one. You can make it dv, or you can make it u, either one. I'm going to make u equal x. Therefore, du, and I'm going to put it in another color. The reason I'm going to put it in another color is because it's something you have to do. In other words, it doesn't come in the problem. You have to do it. So du is equal to 1 dx. Okay? Now, if this is given in the problem, then v is given in the problem. And v is going to be e to the x. And now we got to go up and find dv. And I'll do it in red. dv is equal to, or dv, I'm sorry. Ultraviolet, that's dv. I get it backwards sometimes. dv. And we got to find the integral and find v. My bad. Then v is equal to e to the x. Now you have what you need to plug in ultraviolet minus dv. So do it. ultraviolet minus voodoo. And you can look it up in your book, how they write it. I wouldn't. And I'm going to take my green, well, let's see. My U is X, so that'd be black. My V is E to the X in red, minus anti. That's what's wrong with it. Minus voodoo, V is E to the X, and DU is what? Isn't that special? That's good. Actually, it's 1DX, so you can make sure you put the X. If you don't have the DX, you can put the derivative. So now it's X, E to the X, minus, what's the antiderivative of E to the X? E to the X, that's right, class, you're done. And what can you factor out? E to the X, and you get X minus 1. Oh, let's see, don't forget to press C or you get it wrong. When I first started teaching calculus, I did it a different way, and then I thought, that's not how I'm going to do it. And then I changed it because you had to do in the first semester, so I changed back to the easy way. I do it. Isn't that awful? That's wrong with that. All right, now we'll just try the following. I'll let y'all do this one. If you can't do it, don't be discouraged. Just consider yourself a failure. The antiderivative of x squared natural log of x dx. The antiderivative of x squared natural log of x dx. What do you want to focus on? Which one is the most complicated? Natural log of x. So you want to focus on it and make u equal to the natural log of x, because you know du is what? You know, I've figured out something. The volume of your voice has to do with how much confidence you have in your answer.
2x.
What is the derivative of the natural log of x? 1 over x. Yeah.
X.
Glad I could help y'all out there. Yeah, 1 over x. All you had to do is throw out x. Yeah. Yes. what's the derivative? We said that the derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x dx. And what is the antiderivative of x squared? Plug and chug. That's what I need. I need to get me a limousine. Yep. Yeah. So people think I'm important. It's all about ego, all about status. You don't know that. You will. Ultraviolet minus voodoo. U is equal to the natural log of x. V is going to be x cubed over 3 minus V, which is x cubed over 3 times du, du, which is what? So x cubed over 3 times the natural log of x minus x to the third over 3x, right? The antiderivative of x to the third, well, the x is canceled. I don't know why I did that.
X squared.
Thank you. The x squared. I thought the battery was dead on the other one. The battery's dead on this one too. And I ain't seen anybody down there because they look at you like you crazy if I see you down there. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Mr. Clinksfield, I sent him last semester, and they treated him like a redheaded stepchild. Who sent you down here? Oh. Who sent you down here? You sure? Mr. Clinksfield said he wasn't going back there. Thought they were going to interrogate him right there. So that's going to be x to the third over 3, natural log of x, minus x to the third over what? 6?
9.
Yeah. X to the third over 6. Right? Okay. Plus c, don't forget the c. And you could factor out an x to the third over 3. That's like 6. Sorry. So you can factor out x cubed over 3. I just did it again. 9. There. Now, factor out x cubed over 3. That will leave you a natural log of x minus 1/3. Plus c. Don't forget the other plus c. This one is one that I would put on a test and people would just stare at it. Ready? And y'all will do it because there's some people in here that won't write it in their notes. You just wait till they get to the test and they'll just stare at it and they'll fuss at who. You didn't show us this one, Hubert. Whatever. You suck. All right, try that one. Natural log of x dx. I would make u equal to the natural log of x. Then what else is left? Dx. And that's what people forget. Yeah, I'm getting my bumper. I had to get a bumper for my truck. It took me like 6 months to get one because I ain't paying $600 for a brand new bumper. And I can get one at the junkyard for like $200. But I had to wait on one. So I finally got one. It cost me $200. Yeah. Dodge parts are high, bud. It's a 2004. Of course, if I had a bumper on it and my son went and ran into the fender with the four-wheeler and knocked a hole in it right after I got it painted. So the only dent on it pretty much is the fact that we ran the four-wheeler into my fiberglass fender, and of course fiberglass fender, it doesn't do it subtle. It's just like a big gouge in it. And plus the rear end seal's gone out, so I pull everything on the farm with that truck, so rear end seals don't last a long time when you pull. That's why bow ties, that's why they last so long, because they don't pull anything. I'm sorry. People don't even know what bow ties are. Bow ties are Chevy trucks. That's what those are. They're called bow ties because people used to get them, and they didn't get them on the farm, didn't get them dirty. And they had the little Chevrolet symbol on the front, so farmers started calling them bow ties because they don't want to get messed up. Chevy is not the favorite pick for a lot of farmers, at least where I'm from. They're not. But I do have one Chevy truck on the dump truck, and it's a pretty good truck. But it's so old, it really don't matter. It's one of those trucks you gotta hold this here and hold this here while you crank it. So today Thursday. All right, Ahmed's here, Anderson's here, Bradshaw's here. Edwards. I don't remember Edwards on Skype. Speak up if I skip you. But I don't remember Edwards. Grant is here, Hutt is here, Khalil is here, Nabay is here, Patel is here, Peer is here, Scobie's here, Sheik's here, Silver's here.
I'm here.
Thompson's here, I think, on Skype.
Yeah.
Tucker is here. Quisnut's here, and Williams is here. Did I miss anybody? I think Edwards is the only one not here today. I don't hear anything, so I guess that's right. All right, so this is our last one today because we got to go over several of these. How my Algebra 1 students knocking those cobwebs loose? I mean, Calculus 1 students, how are y'all doing? U is equal to the natural log of x. Du is equal to 1 over x, what? Dx. And dv is equal to 1 dx. I'll do this one for you. V is equal to x. You'd be surprised on how many students will look at this problem on a test and skip it. Ultraviolet minus voodoo. One over x dx. So x, natural log of x, minus the antiderivative of what? So x, natural log of x, minus what? Plus c. Don't forget to add the plus c. And you could factor out x. I'll take either answer, even though web design will probably blow up if you factor out x, but I'll take either answer. So on the test, make sure that you see me if you miss some. Now, I've got, what have I got right here? 9:58. So I got 2 minutes before y'all start running out of here. And since last class was a failure, got to talk about what I'm fixing to talk about, which is the test. Okay, so go back to the test. I'm going to fix that. Give me a second. No, I'll have too many people whining. All right, let's fix this before everybody leaves. Don't even get me started on WebAssign right now. I'd do anything to have something besides WebAssign right now. Because the person that's in charge of 140, 141, the calculuses and DQs, and he's right. The books that go with My Labs Plus, they're not meaty enough. They don't give you enough problems. They don't give you enough explanation. They have a book now, but it's up to him to change. So I wish he would, because WebAssign sucks. I've been working with it for 3 or 4 years now. The other teachers, they don't fool with it. They just do it all because it's so complicated. It's a pain. It really is. Okay. Is it Unit 2, Form A, B, and C? It's due the 2nd, which is today. I'm going to give you till Monday. And I'll change the homework also. If it'll let me, let's see if it'll let me do this first. Control C, Control V, Control V. Okay. And homework. Let me see if I can do that now. I know it was. And I can't remember what it was. It was just 3 assignments, right?
It was rates, related rates.
There we go. And I'll make it for the 3rd. Also, let's see, 6th, right? And then I'll put it. If you do more than 5 of Control C's, it won't save it. I have to go through and do every 5. There. Okay. Y'all skedaddle. Have a good day. And I'll see y'all. We'll continue on with Unit 3 or whatever unit we're in. No, it wasn't you. There was 5 people that emailed about the spring questions. Faith. Faith, hello. Faith, you done left? Okay. Yes, ma'am.